Welcome to the Make More Dough podcast presented by the Mighty Baker. I am Pete Tidwell and I coach bakers how to make more dough in and out of the kitchen. Join me as I share my knowledge and expertise on essential topics for running a successful bakery business. If you're looking to take your bakery business to the next level, don't forget to visit our website to learn more about getting coached by Pete. Together, we can help you achieve your business and life goals and make more dough. Each week, I'll provide tips and strategies on mindset management, marketing management, and time management. But that's not all. I'll also be interviewing fellow entrepreneurs, bringing you their insights and inspiration to help you thrive in this competitive industry. Don't forget to join the Mighty Baker Make More Dough business Facebook group for a community of bakery and small food business entrepreneurs to connect and share knowledge. Tune in and let me be your guide on your journey to bakery business success. So come on and let's jump right in the mixing bowl and see what is being mixed up and discussed in this week's episode of the Make More Dough podcast. Let's go. Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Pete Tidwell with the Make More Dough podcast by the Mighty Baker. I am so excited to be here today on today's episode. So, last week was episode 55. Go back and listen if you missed that. It's an intro episode to a series that you are about to embark on right now. So, this is the first part of a 6-part podcast series that's entitled The Hardest Part is Over: Embracing Entrepreneurship and Self-Care. So if you've been around and you've listened to my podcast and you've listened to the things that I've been talking about, you can tell that I'm very passionate about business and mindset and just self-care and just a care for you as the CEO of your life and business. Like, even aside from business, right? You are the CEO of your life. Like, look at your life that way. Like, you are in charge. You get to choose what you're going to do. But it's going to be really hard if you don't know what you're getting yourself into and you don't know how to take care of yourself while you're trying to get through all these hard things. So I decided to put together these episodes really because I'm going through this right now. I'm going through a very hard part, and a lot of things in my life and business are kind of wibble-wabbled everywhere, right? And I'm trying to figure out how things fit together for me. And I had this thought last week, which spawned this series, is that what if the hardest part is over? Because I was thinking that everything was so hard and being so hard. But I had this thought. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to create a podcast series on this to help myself kind of process and go through some of these things, but also to get this out there so that you can think about this in regards to your life, right? Everybody's life is completely different. So I'm going to share some things that are true for me and some things that I've experienced, and I think some things that are universally true. But as we're going through these episodes, think about your own specific journey. What are you doing? What are you trying to work towards? And are you trying to become an entrepreneur? Are you wanting to take care of yourself better? What are you wanting to do? Are you wanting to get out of a job that you don't really like anymore? Like, what is it that is hard for you right now? And think to yourself, maybe that hard part is over and let's move on. I just want to offer that up, number one, regardless if you're a bakery business owner or whatever else you're doing in the world, right? So today's is about life, business, and overcoming challenges. So as we know, no surprise to any of us, that life has inherent difficulties, right? I don't think anybody out there will disagree with me. So that's a universal truth and fact, right? That life has difficulties. It has its ups and downs. It has its difficult challenges, personal life, family life, relationships, acquaintances, health, physical, both physical health and mental health, as well as your personal growth, your career, your self-confidence, all the things, right? And just life in general has an emotional and mental toll on each of us, just in being alive, right? But there's so much of that we can shed by working on our mindset and getting ourselves to a better place from a mindset standpoint. But I put that there because that's kind of what we're getting to, right? That's going to be the crescendo as we're getting towards the end of these episodes. But inherently, life is difficult and it takes a toll on us. And then on top of that, some of us decide to go on this entrepreneur journey that we don't really know what it is, and nobody really can tell you because it's kind of different for everybody. And it's this like choose your own adventure, wide world freedom, but also at the same time, it's like ultimate hell sometimes of trying to figure out how to juggle all the things, right? But those of us that have chose entrepreneurship and are interested in entrepreneurship, like, you know who you are. You know who you are out there that are interested in owning your own business and are interested in entrepreneurship, and you listen and hear and see other people in this space and you're like, "Oh, that's interesting. I want to do that." I know you. Like that was me for many, many years. You know who you are. But it attracts us, right? And I want to be able to go through these episodes and talk about like, if you're going to choose to be an entrepreneur, let's also choose to take care of ourselves from the very beginning of the journey. You're going to make it a lot easier on yourself if you can do that. So on top of that, we all decide to become business owners. Well, not all, but people that are like me, I guess, and people out there that are opening up businesses. We decide to open up businesses, and we find out very quickly that it's not the fairy tale bakery story that you hear in Hallmark movies, right? It's not this, oh, we opened a bakery and it's so cute and everything's great and it's just perfect. Okay, like, yeah, there are those days, and I had plenty of those days where I sat in my bakery and I'm like, this is badass. This is amazing. I have my own bakery. This is incredible. But oftentimes, it's that daily struggle, the daily in and out struggle of like figuring out what you're doing. And I like to see it as a challenge now and as a opportunity and being grateful for that opportunity. But when I was deep in it, when I first started my bakery business, I was like, what did I get myself into? This is insane. Because you have your unique challenges arise, right? Like any business for that matter, but financial management, marketing, competition, having a team, systems and processes, health and safety, insurance, licensing, all the things, right? So many unique challenges that come up. And then that's not even just the daily kind of things of like your health that you are like putting yourself out there, and it's going to wear you down. So you got to prep and you got to make sure you have all the tools in place. So a lot of decision making, a lot of long working hours, and responsibility of employees. And I just want to put it out there in this episode. If you are thinking about opening up a bakery or small business, might I suggest working for a bakery or someone that you want to emulate and see what it's like in their life. Even if you do like an unpaid job shadow or internship to see what they do in the day, like also reaching out to them, like reaching out to me, reaching out to other bakers that have gone down the path and ask what their experience is. That's one reason I interview bakers from all different parts of the industry, different success, different experiences, because everybody has a different experience out there. And on one hand, what I did, which I wouldn't change, I jumped in, all in, borrowed a bunch of money, spent a lot of money, realized that I didn't really build my business with the correct systems and processes for it to be able to scale. So I ended up closing, ended up opening a different business, then had some COVID challenges. That's a whole separate animal. But I just put that out there that I want people that are listening and that are out there and that have interest, and maybe it's a teenager out there, a young teenager or a young kid or somebody about to graduate college, and they're like, I want to open a bakery. That looks amazing. Let's talk about it. Let's help talk about that situation and how that could become a reality for you. But let's talk about it from a smart standpoint, a very smart standpoint, because it's possible to be successful in any business, but you got to lay your foundations right and those kind of things and have clear expectations and understand the industry that you're going into. Anyway, I just put that out there because if I were to do this again, that's why I'm creating my bakery business coaching courses and all the things that I'm doing right now is I'm creating what I wish that I had 12 years ago. That's what I'm creating. I'm looking at my journey and saying, okay, here's my journey over 12 years. I wish that I had known all these things, and I wish I had a coach to help me implement some of these things after I work to a certain point, right? So that's what I'm trying to create here so that you can understand what those hardest parts or hard things, I don't know what you want to say, that are in that business realm, because on this episode, like we're talking about, is like overcoming challenges. First of all, before you can overcome the challenge, like you kind of need to understand what is creating that challenge, right? And a lot of it comes down to balance. And if you're opening a business, it's going to quickly overtake your life, and then your self-care is going to go downhill, your relationships are going to go downhill, and all these things, because you're going to be stuck in your business and not be able to get out. So these episodes are really to help kind of shine some light on what entrepreneurship in the food and bakery industry looks like and what it takes to be successful in this area. So this next little section that I really, really love is highlighting the significance of prioritizing personal fulfillment. I want to put this out there because, like, what are your personal values? These are exercises you can go through. A coach can help you do this. There's a lot of things online you can find. But, like, what are your personal values? What are your business goals? What are your success? Like, what does success look like to you? And emphasizing, like, what is your purpose in building your business? What are the reasons you're doing it, right? Is it to, like, provide something to a group of people that you really care about? You really want to provide a solution in some way? Or you want to provide a solution so that you can then support the life that you want? Like, there's so many different business things that you come up with. But the reason I say this is because it's taken me many years and to kind of figure out exactly where my passions lie. And it's changed so many times over the last 12 years. And that's, I think, perfect from where I'm at, because now I'm here to help many people figure out what their journey looks like. My journey was very up and down over so many different directions. And a lot of my journey was just trying to figure out, like, I saw other people do it, so I'm like, I'll just figure it out. I'll figure it out on the way, kind of thing. And sometimes you got to do that for a little bit. But my question for you is, what's your why? What is your reason? What's your story? What is the reason that you do things? What's the reason you get up every morning and work on your business? What are your goals? What are the things that you really, really deeply want? And then the next thing, from a self-care standpoint, even before getting into entrepreneurship and even thinking about entrepreneurship, prioritize your personal well-being and happiness over external validation or societal expectations. I'm going to say that again. Emphasize the need, like, you need to do this, people. You need to prioritize your personal well-being and happiness and joy over external validation or societal expectations. That's such a huge statement there, because I think all of us grow up and try to live up to the expectations of others, or what we see in society or in culture or whatever that is. And we grow up trying to find this external validation, and you kind of see that in media and all those kind of things. But really, like, I've come to a point over the last few years where I'm like, interesting. I'm not doing this to impress other people. I'm not doing this by any means for that external validation. It was there for many, many years for me. Many, many years. I thrived off of external validation up to a point where it didn't work anymore for me. And I had to dig deeper inside and find, I need to prioritize Pete and prioritize my personal well-being and joy, and have my own courage within me so I can create that energy within me to then go out and do my business and run my life and help other people from that space. That's huge, and that's different. I'm not doing this for attention for other people. I'm doing this because I truly, truly, deeply want to help people in the world. I really, truly, deeply want to help clients with their businesses and help them grow something that can actually be sustainable for their family, for themselves, for their legacy, whatever that may be. And I want to be able to be there to help people, because I've been on a wild ride. I'm figuring it out. I'm growing my business. And do I have it all figured out? No. I have a business coach that helps me all the time with my things. And like, we all need help and support to get there. And I just want to share a quick story. Back in 2015 to 2018, when I first started my bakery business, and I'm not going to go super into this actually, because there's episodes on this, but when I first opened up my bake shop, I opened up my place, and I was so busy that for 3 years, I did not take care of myself. I was working 90, 100-hour weeks, 3 hours of sleep a night, sometimes no sleep, just running all day long, running my business. I mean, in 2017, I did $327,000 in revenue in 2017. So 327 grand in that year was insane. That was wedding cakes, catering, in the store, everything. But through those 3 years, I did not take care of myself. I did not. I have back problems and neck problems and issues from those years of just working too hard, because I didn't have systems and processes in my business to help me thrive and grow as a business owner. I essentially built a job for myself and not a business. So that's why I'm here as a business coach. Like, hey, listen to other people's experiences and learn from them. Learn from other people, because it's so important. So from an overcoming challenges standpoint, I know this episode's been a little bit over the place, because I'm kind of figuring that out as I go a little bit, because this is such a valuable topic, and I'm trying to allow myself to naturally think about this as I'm recording this. So I really appreciate you guys listening to this as well, because I think this is where the real stuff comes from as I'm sitting here talking about this. But anyway, so from a overcoming challenges standpoint, like, try to phrase things a little bit differently in your mind. It's like the whole topic of this, that the hardest part is past. Like, instead of saying, oh, this is such a hard problem, take out the emotion from it and just look at it from a fact standpoint. Creative problem solving. Like, try to look at it away from emotions, and then from like a resilience and adaptability standpoint. Like, it's just a continuation thing, right? And being able to adapt to changes. And you're not going to be perfect at it. And you're going to fail. And you're going to fall in your face. And you're going to want to quit a lot of times. But you keep going, because when you do keep going and you keep taking action, you have that little win, that little success. And that lights your fire even brighter than it ever has been before, because you come through and you believe in yourself and you push yourself to that next thing. And if you find yourself in midst of a challenge and you feel stuck, write down in that moment all your thoughts that you're having. Get them out on paper. All your emotions, all your thoughts, get them out on paper. Get them out on paper when you get in those challenges. And then look at them or have a conversation with somebody. Find a coach, find a friend, find somebody to be able to talk through some of those things, because that's going to get you unstuck, is by saying, okay, this is the challenge. These are the things that are stopping me. These are the things I'm afraid of doing or not doing. And then being able to choose in that moment, what action are you going to take? Because that's what's going to get you out of that funk, out of that like stuck space, is by doing that, is by getting yourself out of the stuck space, writing down your thoughts and choosing what are you going to do next. My business coach, Dave Moreno, taught me that, and I love it. It's like, choose what is the next action, the very next thing you're going to do. And then when you're doing that action and when you complete that, then you'll know what to do next. You don't have to think forward to steps 5, 6, 7, 100, 1,000, 3,000. No, focus on the next step, the next action, and put all your energy into that bucket. And then once that's figured out, then on to the next one. So as you're going through the challenges of life and business and the different things you're going through, seek out mentorship, seek out networking, seek out continuous learning to navigate your challenges effectively, because the help is out there. You just need to find it and be humble enough to be able to reach out and ask for help. It took me years, and I'm talking years, to reach out for help from somebody, because I want to think that I know how to do it all, and I don't want to think that I need somebody's help. But we all need help, you guys. All of us do. So when you're in need, it means you don't have all the information. And that means you need to go out and find the information, meet the person, have the conversation, research the thing, watch the thing, talk with the person, go do the action, the next action, and your other things will come in that process. It's going to happen. And sometimes you guys, with life challenges and business challenges, you're going to feel like you hit rock bottom. This happened to me yesterday. I fell to the point where I was on a coaching call with my coach, Dave Moreno, yesterday. And I'm just going to straight up share this because Dave Moreno is awesome. He's just incredible. He's my coach and I love him. And I was kind of stuck on the call yesterday, and I was talking to him, and I'm like, he's like, you know what? It seems as though that you've kind of hit rock bottom a little bit. And what you need to do is you need to do some things for yourself. He said, over the next 24 hours, I want you to do 6 things for yourself. And I want you to focus on the first one first. Like, choose one thing you're going to do that's going to be for you, that's going to bring you joy, that's something you want to do. And then do that thing, and then do the next thing. But don't think about the next thing. Focus on the first thing first, and then it will guide you through. And I loved that because I was having a hard time finding things that I was excited about and having a hard time in a lot of regards. And that got me right unstuck. Well, not right in the moment. Took me a little bit. But I, at that point, this is a bit of a longer episode, but I'm going to wrap this up. But it was a cool experience, and I'm just going to share this because what happened is after that call, I got on here to record this podcast. And this podcast was hard because I tried recording it and I just couldn't do it. It wasn't happening, and I was so frustrated with so many things in my mind. And then I remembered what he was saying on the call. And the reason I was doing my podcast is because I love my podcast, but I was in a place where I couldn't do it because I wasn't in the right state. And so my coach talks a lot about state work as well, and talks about the importance of removing yourself from a place, or like changing your physiology, moving, surroundings, those kind of things to help change up some of those things. And so I decided at that moment, you know what I'm going to do? I've been home all day. I haven't been outside. I'm going to leave. I'm going to go and then go on a drive. I'm going to go and get my mind off of this because I love going on drives. I love listening to music. And so that's exactly what I did. I did that. And then I ended up at my friend's house, one of my best friend's house, and ended up hanging out with him for a while and chatting. And it was so good. And then from there, I came home and I watched the finale of Ted Lasso last night. And I love that show. It's my fave. I've got my mugs back here and everything. I love it. And I watched the finale of Ted Lasso with my wife and then had a lovely sleep. And now I'm recording my podcast the next day. And my podcast normally comes out at 6 a.m., but it's like noon. And I'm probably not going to post this till later because right when I'm done pushing the stop record button, I'm going to my son's birthday party. Anyway, but I did it. I followed the instructions that my coach gave me, and you know what? It's helped me so many leaps and bounds. And I just want to put that out there is like, we need help, you guys. We need help and support. And when you get into those stuck places where I was, like you almost feel like you can't reach out to somebody for help. But in those moments, reach out to somebody for help or do something for yourself. If you find yourself in a stuck place or in the middle of a challenge, like I said, write down your thoughts on paper, leave the paper on your desk, and go do something for yourself. Go on a walk, go get a coffee, go get a soda, go get some food, go get a snack, go do something, right? And then come back and look at it later. Like change what you're doing. Get yourself out of that situation. When life presents challenges, business presents challenges, you have to take it like right then and figure out what you're going to do. Because oftentimes as an entrepreneur, if you get into this journey, there's so many things going on and so many different things involved. It's sometimes hard to continue on. And it's sometimes hard because you have so many proofs of success and so many proofs of failure in your mind that sometimes that gets kind of crossed over a little bit and it gets a little bit overwhelming. And so when you do get in those challenging moments, it's shifting that and getting yourself out of there. And this very much gets us to the next episode, which the next episode next week is the power of perspective, shifting your beliefs for growth. So this is exactly what we're talking about. It's like understanding this may be the perspective that I have been looking at things. This is a different perspective. And now I need to shift my beliefs of myself and of the world, of money, those kind of things, so that I can actually grow in my life and in my business. So we're going to be going to that next week. And with that, I hope you guys have a lovely day and you guys are all awesome. Thank you for listening. See you next week. Thanks for tuning in to the Make More Dough podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform to help us improve and reach more listeners. Also, if while you were listening, you thought of somebody that would benefit from listening to my podcast, please share it with them. I would really appreciate it. Don't hesitate to reach out on social media or through our website if you have any questions or feedback. Keep baking, stay inspired, and see you on the next episode.